Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. Today is Wednesday, July 26, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are we going to rate this? Guys, we're going to rate this. Honestly, I don't remember what happened. I'm going to give Sunny and Ava another 8 and they could just share it with everyone else. Because honestly, it wasn't that much to this story, but let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to knock a few people off, such as Willow and Michael. So Willow and Michael are just talking about how, she's folding clothes, talking about, she didn't think she would be able to do this, and you know, she's just happy her life is the way it is, and they're just happy. Let's move on. We see Mila is just so I can't go to the bathroom and try to record because here she comes too. Okay, here we go, and then we see who else? Dex and Jocelyn. She goes over to his place. He has candles all lit because it's hot. They don't have any AC and they don't have any lights. And she said, "Well, who you trying to impress?" He was like, "Nobody, girl. I'm just trying not to be in the dark." I said, "Well, I'd rather be in the dark than have all those candles burning because I'm just thinking about how it feels in Texas, baby. We are not cooking during the middle of the day. I wait to cook and." At night and then warm it up in the microwave the next day because it's too hot to turn on the oven and the stove and everything. But anyways, y'all, so he tells her about what went down because she said, "I haven't heard from you in 36 hours. You left me at the Metro and then you were gone. Like, what's going on?" And he said, he tells her about finding Gordon's dead self. And she was like, "Oh my gosh!" And he said, "I called Sonny." And she said, "What did he want you to do?" And he said, "Call the police." And she said, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, maybe he knew there were security cameras or whatever. For whatever reason, he told me to call the police. He thought he was gonna want him to leave, but he didn't." And so they were like, "Okay." And then they end up, I don't. They end up sleeping together. Let's move on. So then we see who else was on here. Curtis and Portia. Child, Curtis done told Portia, "Let me go. I don't want to be with you." I said, "Now, wait a minute, Curtis. Don't act too hard. Them legs gonna start moving." I said, "Now, your legs are moving a little bit. Stop." But anyways, he tells Portia, he don't want to be with her. He said, You didn't even want to be with me. You was mad at me about that kiss with Jordan." And she said, "Well, I was upset." He said, "You didn't want me." And she said, "Well, when you what came up, you said you love me and you talked to Sam." It was like, "Well, I was out of it and I didn't know." And she said, "What? That you were gonna be paralyzed and you might not be able to walk and all this." And he said he didn't want Trina to see him like this, like, because Portia, like, "Me, Trina, and you, we're gonna have our life together." And he said, "No, we not, because I don't want Trina seeing me like this." And she said, "Trina, when you came, the first words you said was, 'Where's my daughter?' And that meant the world to Trina. And she sat in that waiting room 24 hours for you. She was waiting on you to, wake up. And so I don't know what you think you're going through, but you're not pushing me away." And baby Curtis said, "You thought, let me go and get some low blows in here." He said, I had 20 years I could have been with Trina before I got into this wheelchair or whatever. And it doesn't even matter because of you, I didn't have the years with her. And so now I gotta have you want me to build a relationship and I can't even walk and all this." He said no. And so now he mad at Portia again, but I think he just using that to push her away or whatever. And Portia said, "I'm not gonna let you do this." He said, "You ain't got no choice. Get your butt out of here." And so she ends up leaving because Curtis says he's frustrated, he's mad at her, and she took away 20 years from his life, and everything, because she was being selfish and she didn't tell him the truth that Trina was his daughter. And that was it on that, y'all. And I guess he wanted a divorce. He don't want her to be with her. And he don't want Trina around see them like that. So I don't know. Let's move on. So then we see Sonny, Willow, Michael, Sam. Okay, so then we go over here to Sam and Dante, and they're enjoying their night. He came in late from work and told her, "Let me go shower and stuff." And she said, "Why are you 2 hours late?" And so he tell her everything that went down. And then she started talking to him and she said, "This whole thing with Sasha, Gladys is behind it. And she said, to be quite honest with you, Sonny don't like Gladys either. She said, your daddy don't like Gladys. And you didn't see the way Sonny was with Mike and how heartbroken he was about Mike. And she said, I think that softened him up to Gladys, and even though he don't like her because of Mike, because of Brando, he tolerates her more than he should, but he don't trust her. And she said, I don't know, it just feels like I'm not matching the pieces together. But some kind of way, Selena Wu, Cody, Gladys, it's all I just gotta figure out the pieces. I said, if Cody would just talk, if he would just tell her what's going on, she could figure it out faster. But anyways, she said, because I know Gladys has something to do with what happened to Sasha. I just know it. And she said, I think Sonny does too. And so Cody was like, well, I mean, Cody, Dante was like, well, we don't know or whatever. And she said, oh, at the end of the day, I just don't like Gladys. I just don't, it's just something about her I just don't like. So then they got a knock on the door because they was trying to be grown too. And it's Cody about to pass out because he had checked himself out the hospital. And then they said, you need to go back. He said, nah, I can't go back because then Sasha might be in more trouble for me going back. So Sam have to doctor him up. And then he tell them, he said, what's going on with Sasha just doesn't make sense. And they were like, yeah, because she was all right. And that's what Sam had told Dante, that Sasha was doing fine. And then Gladys wanted that guardianship to stay in put while Sasha wanted it to be removed. And now all of a sudden this happens. And that's what Cody said. He was like, Sasha is not fragile. She was doing just fine. So something is not right. And it has to do with Gladys. But Cody is not in any condition to think. So he got to lay down and he was about to call an Uber home to the Quartermains, but he's too fragile himself to get up and go. So they tell him, go ahead and sit down in the couch and have a rest, and we'll talk about this in the morning. You can spend the night. So then Sam and Dante go out by the balcony, and they start kissing all up on each other, and he thanks her for letting Cody stay. And she said, Cody's lucky to have a friend like you, and she just needed his friend tonight. And so it is what it is, but that he not stopping what was going on with us. So then he ended up carrying her upstairs, and they go and be grown too. So then we move over here to Sonny and Ava, and Ava started giving it up. She started telling Sonny everything about Nicholas, how he threatened Ava, how he told her, I'm gonna tell your daughter you said goodbye. And she said, I lost it, because what you're not gonna do is kidnap my child or try to keep me away from my child and tell me you got canceled our money and you could hide her away forever. And so she said it was a little statue on the table. I took the statue and I bust Nicholas, in the head with it, and he fell. And Sonny said, and he was dead. And she said, yeah, but she said, so then Austin came, and I was trying to hide Nicholas, but then Austin saw me doing everything, and he said, and then he started blackmailing you. And she said, no, he was trying to help me, Sonny. She said, so he was trying to help me, and I'm telling him everything that's going on or whatever. And he told me, call the cops. We need to call the cops. And I told him, no, we can't call the cops because ain't nobody gonna believe this. I was mad at Nicholas at the time when all this was going down. Ain't nobody gonna believe me, Sonny. And Austin and Sonny said, you right. When nobody gonna believe that on accident. She said, exactly. So I had to do what I had to do. She said, so then Austin, I was gonna move Nicholas' body, but then Laura came, and so then Laura came, and then I had to go to the wedding because I couldn't raise suspicion. She said, then after the wedding, we was gonna move the body again, and then here come Ryan and Heather, and she said, then all that mess happened, and then the police came down, and I was trying to hide the body. Dante said, open up the storage room. She said, I was terrified. I told him I didn't have a key. He said, use a crow. I'm gonna use this crowbar and open it up, and she said, and Nicholas' body was not in there, and we found out Mason had Nicholas' body. So when we found out Mason had Nicholas' body, he said, y'all gonna do what I want y'all to do, or it's gonna be some problems. And she said, what he wants me to do is to find out information on you and this Pikeman deal. And I kept telling him I couldn't do this because I don't have any information. And she said, and I kept telling him, you don't keep stuff lying around your house or whatever. But he wouldn't listen to me. So he been threatening me, and I've been trying to live with this and trying to do this. I said, I still don't trust Austin. Ava, you can say what you want to, but I don't trust that man. And Sonny said, all right, I got it. She said, now they got my mama. And he said, ain't nothing gonna happen to your mama, nothing gonna happen to Ava, nothing gonna happen to you. She said, Sonny, I don't want to go to prison. He said, you're not gonna go to prison, Ava. I'm gonna figure this out. Don't worry, I'm gonna take care of all this. I got it. And she's like, all right, Sonny. So then he ended up leaving, and she said, I hope you got it, while she's sipping on more martinis. I said, no, mama, you don't need to drink any more martinis. You need to keep your thoughts together. We need a sober mind. And I need Ava Jerome of old, because this new Ava Jerome just letting Sonny take care of all of her problems. No, I needed you to team up with Sonny and wreck shop on these people. Because she said, I don't know who this person is, Sonny, but Mason is terrified of him or her or whatever. He said, no, I got this. And then Sonny get on the phone, because he left Ava. He get on the phone and he said, I need a favor. I need you to look into somebody. He said, dead, all right, but alive would be better. And I said, well, what's about to happen here? And y'all, that was General Hospital Day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for a new episode of What Happened on the Soap General Hospital Edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.